Imagine this, it's an ordinary Thursday evening. I'm at home, scrolling through my phone to pass the time before dinner. Emily's not back yet. She texted earlier to say she had a last-minute work thing at the office. No shock there, it's been happening a lot recently, and it's always in the evening when I'm home alone. But whatever, I wasn't dwelling on it too much. Bored, I get up to tidy things up. I'm not a neat freak, but her side of the bathroom is chaos, half-used lotions and makeup scattered everywhere. A total mess. As I start organizing her stuff, I knock over a few things. That's when I spotted a packet of birth control pills hidden behind some old shampoo bottles. I stand there staring at it like it's something out of place. Here's the kicker: Emily stopped using birth control a year ago, saying she wanted to go all natural, and I didn't argue. So why on earth are these here? My mind starts racing. I try to convince myself there must be some explanation. Maybe these are old and she forgot about them. But curiosity gets the better of me. I pick up the pack, flip it over, and freeze. The dates on the pills are recent, very recent, meaning she's been taking them lately. At that moment, something shifts inside me. A cold, uneasy feeling creeps in, my heart pounding, and I'm not even sure why. They're just pills, right? But then my brain starts connecting dots I hadn't noticed before. Emily's late nights, her recent distance, the times she's being too tired or stressed or simply not in the mood. I try to shake it off, telling myself I'm overreacting. But deep down, I know this isn't some innocent mistake. There's no logical reason she'd hide this from me, and suddenly all the little details that haven't added up over the past few months flood my mind. I'm still holding the pills when I hear the front door open. Emily's home. My mind is spinning, but I don't say anything, not yet. I need to stay calm and figure out what's really going on before I lose it. So I put the pills back, force a smile, and head downstairs to greet her like everything's normal. But it's not. Something's wrong, and I'm about to find out just how deep this rabbit hole goes. As I walk downstairs, I hear her in the kitchen, moving around like everything is fine. She's humming a cheerful tune, one of those upbeat songs she plays when she's in a good mood, a fake good mood. I walk in, and there she is, hair still damp from a shower, looking fresh. But something feels off. She's glowing like she's been having the time of her life, not wrapping up a long day at work. I lean against the doorway, trying to act casual, though the knot in my stomach is tightening. "How was your day?" I ask. My voice comes out steady, even though I'm battling a storm of questions inside. She doesn't even look at me, just continues chopping vegetables for dinner. "Busy," she says, "super exhausting, you know how it is." Yeah, I do. I've been living in this lie for months, apparently. I'm watching her closely, tracking her every move. Her phone is sitting on the counter, buzzing with notifications, one after another, lighting up every few seconds. She doesn't even glance at it. That's strange for her. Usually she's glued to that thing. I step closer, casually. "Your phone's been going off non-stop. Is it important?" She glances at it and shrugs like it's no big deal. "Just work emails, probably. I'll check later," she says lightly, too lightly. She keeps chopping, completely unbothered. The whole scene feels fake, like she's putting on a show, hoping I'll buy it. But I'm already seeing through it, and the image of those pills upstairs is screaming in my head. I decide to test the waters, to see if she'll trip over her own lies. "How's that new guy at work?" "Nathan, right?" I ask casually, like I'm not already suspicious. She's mentioned him before, the new guy who joined her team a few months ago, a bit too often, now that I think about it. Her knife stops for a split second, and I see her fingers tense before she quickly recovers. "Oh, Nathan? He's fine, still learning the ropes," she says, turning back to the cutting board, too fast, too smooth. I walk around the counter, leaning against it, crossing my arms. "You've been working late a lot lately. Is it because of him?" "Helping him settle in." I'm watching her closely, waiting for any crack, any sign of guilt. She hesitates just for a moment, then keeps chopping. "Yeah, kind of. There's just a lot going on. Deadlines and all. You know how it is," she repeats, as if saying it enough will make me believe it. I nod slowly, my blood boiling under the surface. Sure, I get it, and just like that, she thinks she's dodged the bullet. She even smiles like she's proud of how she's handling this, like I'm some clueless idiot. But I'm done being in the dark. I walk to the fridge, grab a drink, trying to appear casual, even though my heart is pounding in my chest. I'm on the verge of something huge, but I need to keep my cool. There's no way I'm confronting her without more proof. Not yet. But I'm not letting this slide either. Got plans tomorrow, I ask, cracking open the can and taking a sip. She doesn't know I'm already plotting. Probably another late night at the office, she says, rolling her eyes like she's so over it. And that's when I decide tomorrow I'm going to follow her. I'm getting my answers one way or another. That night I barely sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see those damn birth control pills in Emily's face, the way she brushed off every question like I'm a fool. I lie next to her in bed, but it feels like we're miles apart. She's sleeping peacefully, wrapped up in the sheets like she's got nothing to hide. But I know better now. Morning comes and I'm already set on what I have to do. I've never been the type to play detective, but when your gut's screaming at you, you've got no choice but to listen. Today's the day I get my answers. Emily wakes up early, like she's got somewhere important to be, rushing around, grabbing her things, barely acknowledging me, just a quick kiss on the cheek, so casual, so fake. Then she's out the door, off to work. I wait 10 minutes, hands sweating, heart pounding like a drum. I grab my keys and head out after her, even though I've never done this kind of thing before. I'm not sure if she'll catch on, but I'm careful to stay far enough behind. She's driving downtown, but something feels off. She's not heading towards her office. I follow her as she turns into a different part of the city, a place I know too well for its trendy bars and cafes. This isn't a place where people go to work, it's where they go to meet someone. She pulls into a parking lot behind one of those modern buildings, and I park a block away, my hands shaking as I watch her. Emily steps out of her car, dressed far too nicely for a workday, a tight black skirt, heels, and a blouse I've never seen before. And then I see him, Nathan, the new guy from work. He's standing by the entrance, flashing that confident smile, like he's done this before, like this is routine. She walks right up to him, and they hug, not just any hug, but the kind of embrace that speaks of familiarity, something more than just co-workers. They disappear inside, leaving me frozen in place. My worst nightmare is unfolding before my eyes, but it feels like I'm watching it happen to someone else. I sit there for a few minutes, staring at the door, trying to process it all. But deep down, I already know the late nights, the distance, the pills. It was never just a coincidence. I should have seen this coming. I take a deep breath, trying to stay calm. Part of me wants to storm in, make a scene, call her out in front of everyone. But that's not how I want to handle this. No, I'll wait. I'll make sure she can't weasel her way out of this. I grab my phone and take a few pictures from a distance, just enough to capture the moment proof. I stay in my car, my eyes fixed on the door. It feels like hours pass, but eventually they come back out. This time they're laughing, way too comfortable with each other. Nathan walks her to her car, leans in, and whispers something in her ear that makes her giggle. I can't hear it, but I don't need to. The look on her face says it all. This is more than just a fling. This has been going on for a while. She drives off, heading home as if nothing happened, and I follow, my mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. When she walks through that door tonight, I'll be waiting. There will be no pretending this time. Emily has no idea what she's about to walk into. I get home before she does, my heart pounding with a mix of anger and icy anticipation. I sit in the living room, lights off, waiting. It's almost surreal how calm I feel, considering the storm in my head. But my mind's made up. There's no escape for her now. I hear her car pull up, and I almost smile. She's completely oblivious. I know exactly where she's been, who she's been with, and she's about to walk in here like everything's normal, like she's still fooling me. I can already picture her fake smile, her sweet little voice telling me about her busy day. The door clicks open, and there she is, right on cue. "Hey babe," she says cheerfully. Long day. She tosses her purse onto the chair and kicks off her heels like she's exhausted. I'm still sitting in the dark, just watching. She doesn't notice me at first, but when she does, she freezes, a half smile stuck on her face. "Why are you sitting in the dark?" she asks, her voice uncertain now. I stand up slowly and switch on the lamp. The light floods the room, and I can see the moment she starts to get nervous. I don't say anything at first, letting the tension build. I want her to feel this, to sense that something is terribly wrong. Finally, I hold up my phone, the pictures of her and Nathan on full display. Her eyes widen, her expression shifting from confusion to panic in an instant. "Long day here," I say, my voice cold and steady. Tell me, Emily, which part of your day involved meeting Nathan at a cafe and laughing like you don't have a husband waiting for you at home? Her face turns pale. She opens her mouth to speak, but then closes it again, clearly scrambling for an explanation. W, what are you talking about? She stammers, trying to regain control. It's not what it looks like, I cut her off before she can finish. Oh, so meeting him behind my back, hugging him, spending hours together outside of work, and lying to me every day isn't what it looks like. My voice is rising now, each word laced with the anger I've been holding back. Tell me, Emily, what am I missing here? She blinks rapidly, caught off guard by how direct I'm being. She takes a step back, her hands up, as if trying to calm me down. Listen, it's not like that, I swear. Nathan and I are just friends. I was helping him with a project, that's all. I laugh a bitter, disbelieving laugh. Friends? Really? You expect me to buy that? I throw my phone onto the coffee table and reach into my pocket, pulling out the birth control pills I found. Her eyes widen again, and this time there's no hiding. She's cornered and she knows it. What are these for, Emily? I ask, my voice sharp. You're not taking them for us, that's for sure. Her face crumples, and for a moment I think she might cry. But then something shifts in her expression. Instead of breaking down or apologizing, she looks at me with defiance, like I'm the one in the wrong. Fine, she snaps. Yes, I've been seeing Nathan. But it's not what you think. It's not serious. It just happened. We got close and I wasn't sure where things were going between us, you and me. I didn't plan for this. I feel the heat rise in my chest. She's actually trying to justify this. So what? You were confused about us? We've been married for 7 years. How much more certainty do you need? I can barely keep my voice steady. She crosses her arms, defensive now, like I'm being unreasonable. You don't get it. You've been distant too. You don't notice when I'm upset, when I need something. Nathan, he listened. He made me feel appreciated. I can't even respond for a moment. The manipulation is staggering. She's twisting this, trying to make me feel guilty for her cheating, like this is my fault, like I'm the one who drove her into his arms. Don't you dare pin this on me, I say, my voice shaking with rage. I've been here every day doing everything I can to make this work. You're the one who's been lying, sneaking around, making excuses. Don't act like this is about me. She opens her mouth to argue, but I cut her off again. You've been cheating, Emily. Call it what it is. You betrayed me, and now you're standing here trying to make me the bad guy. How do you even live with yourself? For the first time, she looks genuinely rattled. She steps back, realizing there's no escape now, not anymore. I can feel the weight of everything crashing down: the lies, the betrayal, the months I spent in the dark, believing her. I don't know what happens next, but one thing's clear: this marriage, this life we built together, will never be the same. She stands there, biting her lip, the defiance slowly draining from her face as the silence between us deepens. For a second, I think maybe, just maybe, she'll finally come clean, drop the act, and show some kind of remorse. But instead, she does what I've come to expect from her. She doubles down. All right, fine, she says, her voice colder now, almost indifferent. Yes, I cheated. I'm not going to lie about it anymore. She shrugs, as if it's no big deal, like she's admitting to something as trivial as forgetting to pick up groceries. But you know what? Maybe if you hadn't been so checked out lately, I wouldn't have had to. I feel the color drain from my face, my jaw clenching as her words hit me like a punch. Had to. She's seriously trying to justify her affair as if it's some twisted punishment directed at me. The silence grows heavier, both of us locked in this face-off. Her eyes meet mine, almost daring me to react. Had to, I echo, disbelief dripping from my voice. That's what you're going with. You're actually standing here trying to tell me this is my fault. She rolls her eyes, and that's when I lose it, but not in a screaming, shouting way. No, it's worse. I lose it in a quiet, cold rage that even frightens me. I take a step closer, my voice calm but now sharp like a blade. I've been here, Emily. Every day, right here. I wasn't the one sneaking around, taking birth control pills behind my husband's back. I wasn't the one making up excuses and hiding things. Don't you dare make this about me. Her eyes narrow, and I see that flash of defiance return. She doesn't like being cornered, doesn't like that I'm not letting her twist her way out of this. Oh, please, she snaps. You've been here, sure, but you haven't been present. You come home, barely talk to me. You're always so distracted. It's like you don't even notice me anymore. Maybe if you had, things wouldn't have ended up like this. There it is again, her trying to flip the blame, making me second-guess myself. But this time, I'm not falling for it. I stare at her, feeling the last remnants of love I had for her dissolve into something dark and cold. It's like I'm finally seeing the real Emily, the one who doesn't care about anyone but herself. "You're unbelievable," I say, my voice low. "All this time, I've been trying to figure out what I did wrong, why you've been so distant. I thought maybe it was work or stress or something we could work through together. But no, it wasn't me, was it? You were out there with some guy. Then coming home and lying to my face like it was nothing. And now you're standing here acting like you're the victim." Her lips curl into a sneer, and for the first time I see something ugly in her face. "You still don't get it, do you?" she says, her voice venomous. "Maybe I wouldn't have had to look elsewhere if you weren't so boring, so predictable. Nathan? He's exciting. He's fun. He actually made me feel alive again. What do you do? Come home, watch TV, and expect me to be satisfied with that?" I take a step back, stunned, boring. Predictable, the words echo in my head, each one cutting deeper than the last. I had been trying so hard to build something steady and solid, something I thought we both wanted. But apparently, while I was busy creating a life for us, she was busy chasing thrills with someone else. You know what I say, my voice hoarse from the anger I'm barely holding back. If that's what you wanted, if all you needed was a thrill, you should have told me before we got married, before we built this life together, before you decided to throw it all away for some fling. She looks at me, and for a moment something flickers in her eyes, but it's not guilt or regret, it's worse, it's indifference. She shrugs again, utterly unbothered. "People change," she says flatly. "What can I say? Maybe you're just not enough for me anymore." And there it is, the final blow. The words slam into me like a truck, shattering any last shred of hope I had that this could somehow be fixed. Not enough, that's what it all boils down to for her. I wasn't exciting enough, spontaneous enough, whatever enough. She's willing to throw away everything we've built because she got bored. I stand there numb, watching as she picks up her purse from the chair and slings it over her shoulder, like this is just any other night. "Where are you going?" I ask, my voice eerily calm. She glances back at me, giving me that same dismissive smile she's had since this whole thing began. "I need some space to think," she says. "Maybe you should do the same." And with that, she walks out the door. No apology, nothing. The door closes behind her, leaving me standing in the living room, staring at the empty space she's left behind, wondering how everything came to this. The door slams shut, and the silence that follows is overwhelming. I'm just standing there, staring at the spot where she was moments ago. My mind is a whirlpool of emotions, my hands trembling, fists clenched so tightly my knuckles have turned white. Boring. Predictable. Not enough, her words keep replaying in my head, each one hitting harder than the last. I should be furious, I should be pacing, yelling, throwing something. Anything. But instead, all I feel is this deep, cold emptiness spreading through me. It's like the shock of it all has numbed me, and now I just feel hollow. How did we get here? I sink onto the couch, feeling the weight of everything crash down on me. 7 years together, 7 years, and she's out there doing God knows what with Nathan, while I've been here trying to build a life she clearly couldn't care less about. I glance at the birth control pills still sitting on the coffee table, proof of her betrayal, not that I need any more. My mind races, but then a realization hits me. She just walked out. She left. After everything she said, after dropping that bombshell, she didn't even try to fix it. Didn't even pretend to care. And that hurts more than anything. I don't know what I was expecting, maybe a fight, maybe some weak attempt at an apology. But not this. Not her shrugging off our marriage like it's something she can take or leave whenever she pleases. I grab my phone, my hands shaking, and scroll through my contacts. My thumb hovers over her number for a second, thinking about calling her, demanding she come back and face this. But what good would that do? She made it clear I'm not enough for her. She's not coming back. Instead, I do something I never thought I'd do. I scroll to my best friend Mike's name and hit call. He picks up after a few rings, his voice cheerful, unaware of the chaos that's just wrecked my life. "Hey man, what's up? Haven't heard from you in a while." I swallow hard, trying to steady my voice. "Mike, I need to talk. Can you come over?" He immediately picks up on the crack in my words. "What's going on? Are you okay?" His tone changes, concern creeping in. No, I'm not. I manage to say, my throat tight. Emily. My voice catches and I can't bring myself to finish the sentence. How do you even explain something like this? How do you tell your best friend that the woman you thought you'd spend your life with has been sleeping with someone else behind your back? I'm on my way, Mike says without hesitation. No more questions, just the sound of his car keys jangling in the background. Give me 10 minutes, I hang up, sitting there, my mind blank, waiting for him. My thoughts keep swinging between extremes. 1 minute, I'm filled with fury, imagining how I could tear into Emily, tell her she threw away the best thing she ever had. The next, I'm overwhelmed with a deep, crushing sadness, a sense of loss so heavy it's hard to breathe. How could she do this? How could she face me for months, pretending everything was okay, while she was off playing house with someone else? True to his word, Mike shows up in under 10 minutes, letting himself in like he always does, no knock needed. As soon as he enters, one glance at me and he knows something's terribly wrong. I must look like a mess still in my work clothes, disheveled, probably pale as a ghost. Jesus, man, he says, sitting next to me. What happened? I can't even meet his gaze, my voice flat as I begin to explain. She's been cheating on me, Mike. Emily. She's seeing some guy from work, Nathan. I found out today. The words feel foreign, like I'm saying them for the first time. Mike just stares at me, eyes wide in disbelief. Slowly, he leans back, running a hand through his hair. Are you serious, Emily? Man, I'm so sorry. I never saw that coming. Neither did I mutter, my voice thick with bitterness. I found her birth control pills, then followed her today. I saw them together. They were all over each other, laughing, hugging. She didn't even bother to hide it. Mike mutters a curse under his breath, shaking his head. That's messed up, seriously messed up, yeah, I say. Leaning forward, elbows on my knees, my head hanging low. And the worst part? She didn't deny it, didn't apologize. She blamed me, said I wasn't enough for her, that I'm too boring. Can you believe that? 7 years together, and that's what she thinks. Mike is silent, his face tight with anger. Dude, you're not the problem here. Don't let her make you think that. She's the one who screwed up. Not you, I nod, but it doesn't feel real yet. Everything's still a blur, like I'm watching this happen to someone else. I don't know what to do next. I just feel lost. After a pause, Mike speaks again, his voice steady. You need to make a decision, man. I know this is a lot, but you can't stay in limbo. Are you going to try to fix this, or are you going to walk away? His words hit me hard. Fix this. How do you fix something so broken? And walking away feels equally impossible. Maybe that's the point. None of this is going to be easy. I stare at the floor, running through every scenario, but one truth keeps rising to the surface. Emily isn't who I thought she was. She made her choice when she walked out, and maybe now it's time for me to make mine. Mike stays for a few hours, mostly in silence. He's never been one to push me to talk, and for that I'm grateful. My mind's racing, but I can't seem to focus on a single thought for long. The weight of her betrayal is overwhelming, suffocating any other feeling. Around midnight, Mike finally stands, clapping a hand on my shoulder. Look, man, I'm here if you need me, but you've got to face this head on. Emily's going to come back, and you need to figure out what you want. No matter what you decide, remember you don't deserve this. I nod again, but it's mechanical, like I'm stuck between rage and sadness and can't even identify what I'm feeling anymore. I watch Mike leave, closing the door softly behind him, and then it hits me. The silence in the house is deafening. This place, our home, now feels like a prison. Every piece of furniture, every photo, every little reminder of our life together feels like a cruel joke. It's like I'm being haunted by the ghost of what we had, mocking me with everything that's been ripped away. And then I hear it, her car. Emily's back. I stand, my body tensing as if it knows what's coming before my mind can catch up. She walks in, keys jangling, her face blank, showing no guilt, no shame. Just that same indifferent look she gave me when she left, like nothing happened. Like we're about to have some normal, trivial conversation about dinner plans or the weekend. But not tonight. Tonight is different. She drops her purse and meets my eyes. For a moment we just stare at each other. I don't know if she's waiting for me to explode or break down, but I'm not giving her that satisfaction. I'm not giving her anything. Finally she speaks, her tone so casual it makes my blood boil. Did you think about what we talked about? What we talked about? She says it like we had some kind of logical conversation, like she didn't just destroy my life a few hours ago. The audacity in her voice is unbelievable, and I can feel the anger rising, threatening to spill over, but I keep it buried cold and controlled. I did, I reply, my voice steady. Too steady. She notices too because her expression falters for just a second before she asks, arms crossed, still exuding that cocky, dismissive attitude like a bad perfume. So, what do you want to do? What do I want to do? I almost laugh. As if this decision is about choosing a restaurant. As if the end of our marriage is just a minor inconvenience. I step closer, looking her dead in the eyes. I want to know why, I say quietly but firmly. I want to know why you thought it was okay to lie to me, to sneak around behind my back. Why you thought Nathan was worth more than our marriage. Her face tightens, but she doesn't back down. I told you already, she sighs, as if I'm exhausting her. I needed more. I needed excitement. You've been checked out, and Nathan. He was there when you weren't. Excitement, I repeat, my voice sharper now. You threw away everything we built for a thrill? For some guy who gives you attention for a few months? And then what? What happens when Nathan gets boring? You'll just move on to the next guy who makes you feel alive. She flinches slightly, but her eyes harden again. You don't get it. I didn't plan this, okay? It just happened. Things like this don't just happen, I snap, the coldness slipping as my anger breaks through. You made a choice. You chose to lie, to cheat, to walk out on us for the first time. I see a flicker of something like regret in her eyes, but it's too late. She softens her tone. Maybe we can work through this. People make mistakes. Maybe we can go to counseling or something. Counseling, I scoff, shaking my head. Counseling won't fix betrayal, Emily. It won't erase the fact that you've been lying to me for months, that you looked me in the eye every day and pretended everything was fine while you were screwing Nathan. She steps forward, reaching out, but I pull back, shaking my head. I don't want her touching me. I don't want any of this. I made a mistake. Okay, she says, her voice trembling slightly. But we've been together for 7 years. You can't just throw that all away because of one mistake. One mistake, I ask, laughing bitterly. This wasn't just a one-time thing. You didn't accidentally fall into his arms. You've been lying to me every single day, cheating on me while I was here, trying to build a life for us. You didn't just betray me, Emily. You destroyed the trust we had. And there's no coming back from that. She blinks, frustration twisting her face, as if I'm being unreasonable, as if I'm not giving her the chance she believes she deserves. But I'm done. I'm so done. I'm not staying in this marriage, I finally say, the words heavy but resolute. I deserve better than this. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine for the first time. Real fear crosses her face. Wait, she pleads, her voice breaking this time. You're leaving? Just like that I nod, not even pausing. Yeah, just like that. You left the moment you decided Nathan was more important than what we had. I'm just making it official. The silence between us is thick, suffocating. She looks at me, desperately searching for a way to pull me back, but it's over. I see that now, clearer than ever. I turn, grab my coat, and head for the door. As I reach for the handle, ready to leave the life we built together, the weight in my chest starts to lift. It's not the life I imagined, but it's better than living a lie. Wait, she calls out, her voice now desperate. We can fix this. Please don't do this, but I'm already gone. The night air hits me like a slap, cold and sharp, but it feels cleaner, clearer. I stand on the front porch for a moment, just breathing, the burden of everything inside that house finally starting to lift off my shoulders. I can still hear Emily's muffled voice behind the door, calling my name, but I don't turn back. I can't. I step off the porch and head toward my car, my mind buzzing with the finality of what just happened. I left her after everything. 7 years of marriage, the home we built, the future we planned. I walked away. It feels surreal, like I'm watching my own life crumble from a distance. But with every step toward the car, something else stirs underneath the night's stillness, a strange mix of grief and relief. Grief for what's been lost, for the future I thought I had, but also relief, a sense of release, like I'm finally free from the constant questioning and endless doubt that's been weighing me down for months. I sit in the car for a moment, gripping the steering wheel, my heart still racing. I don't have a plan. I don't know where I'm going or what comes next, but the one thing I do know is that I can't stay not in that house, not with her. There's nothing left for me there. I start the engine, the hum of the car breaking the silence. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I pull it out to see Emily's name lighting up the screen. I don't answer. What's the point? We've said everything that needed to be said, and hearing her voice again might shatter the fragile control I'm holding onto right now. She's already taken enough from me. Instead, I pull out of the driveway, the headlights cutting through the darkness as I drive aimlessly through the empty streets. It's late, way past midnight, and the city feels almost deserted. I'm not sure where I'm headed, but something inside me tells me that anywhere is better than where I just left. My thoughts are all over the place, bouncing between anger and sadness. Part of me still can't believe this is real. Emily, the woman I thought I knew better than anyone, turned out to be a stranger. How could she do this? How could she look me in the eyes day after day and lie so easily? It's like every memory we shared is now tainted. Everything feels poisoned, every smile, every laugh, every touch, it's all a lie. But as I drive, something else starts to settle in, something quieter, calmer. I realize this isn't just about Emily anymore. It's about me. It's about the man I was becoming in that marriage, the one who was too scared to face the truth, the one who was willing to settle for less because he thought that's what love was supposed to be. I pull into a 24-hour diner, the neon sign buzzing in the night, and park the car. I sit there for a minute, staring at the flickering lights, thinking about how everything went so wrong. But for the first time, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm not trying to figure out what I could have done differently or where I messed up, because the truth is, none of this was on me. I wasn't perfect, no one is, but I didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve to be treated like I didn't matter, like I was just an option she could pick up and drop whenever she wanted. Inside the diner, I find a booth in the corner. The smell of coffee and fried food fills the air, and it's quiet, only a few people scattered around. The kind of place where no one cares why you're there. A waitress comes over, and I order coffee, though I'm not even sure I'll drink it. I just need to sit, to think, to breathe. As I sit there, staring out the window at the empty street, it hits me this is the first step towards something new. It's not the life I wanted, but maybe it's the life I need. Maybe walking away is the only way I can find myself again. My phone buzzes again. I glance at the screen, another call from Emily, followed by a string of texts, please pick up. I'm sorry. Let's talk. I didn't mean what I said earlier. I stare at the messages, feeling nothing but a cold sense of finality. There's nothing left to talk about. Whatever she says now, whatever excuses or apology she offers, it doesn't matter. I'm done. I block her number. It's a clean break, and it feels like ripping off a bandage, painful, but necessary. I need to start healing, and I can't do that with her voice still in my ear, trying to twist the story, trying to make this something it's not. I take a sip of the coffee, it's still too hot. But it wakes me up, bringing me back to the present. I'm here. I made it out. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm in control of my life again. There's a long road ahead, and I have no idea where it's going to take me, but at least now it's on my terms. If I've learned one thing from all of this, it's that sometimes walking away is the bravest thing you can do. You can't save what's already broken, and you can't hold on to someone who doesn't respect you. I deserve better than the lies, the betrayal, the half-hearted excuses. I deserve someone who chooses me, who doesn't need to be convinced that I'm enough. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe it'll be messy. Maybe it'll be painful, but at least it'll be mine. I pay for the coffee, leave a tip on the table, and walk out into the night, the city lights blurring around me. For the first time in months, I feel a strange sense of peace, like I'm finally free from the weight of everything I thought I had to carry. And as I get into my car and drive away, I know one thing for sure: I'm done looking back.